Which real-life cheat codes do you know? Before we begin, don't forget to subscribe to the Vancher channel. Also, please share your thoughts on this video in the comments. Let's get started. Story 1. Admit your mistakes quickly and without undue apologies, self-flagellation. Not only will people trust you more, you'll usually move on from the mistake much faster. Answer. As a teacher, I am one of only a few at my school who don't mind admitting mistakes to my students. They tend to be in shock when I do so for the first time. Then they kind of get used to it, and most tend to be able to admit their mistakes when talking to me easier or quicker. Once they've gotten to know me for a while, normally during the second year of me teaching them, very confident kids tend to call me out for my mistakes once they get how I work. And I usually thank them, but also make sure they talk politely when they do so. I hope at least some of my kids learn the admitting mistakes is not a big deal, and that you can both call someone out for making a mistake without being a jerk. Story 2. Diarrhea is the best excuse to get out of anything. No one questions it, and no one expects you to go to a doctor for it. Story 3. I got a job as security at a concert venue because ticket prices were getting to be insane and I wanted to see some shows. Turns out I also got to meet some rock stars. Story 4. Don't put who an email will be sent to until after you have it ready to send, so you can't accidentally send an unedited or unfinished emails. Story 5. Confidence can get you super far. Like, if you just act extremely confident and normal and totally fine about whatever it is you're doing, anything nearly, people won't question it. You're supposed to be here, just walk on in or out or whatever. That's the attitude to have. I cannot believe how well this works for some of the nicest people, as well as the biggest jerks alive. It works. Answer, heavy on the biggest jerks. Some of the people highest up in corporations got their BC. They believed they were badass, or like the seat was already theirs. These people are assertive BC. They truly believe they're better. That undying confidence sells quicker than bleach beginning of COVID. Sadly, these people are like great at their jobs, but really shoot people. Edited for the amount of times I couldn't spell there. Story 6. People like talking about themselves more than they like hearing about you. If you interact with people for work, memorize one thing about them. Could be a kid's name, a sport they like, a hobby they do, their job, etc. Ask them about it every once in a while. People are always surprised and appreciate your interest in them. Answer, absolutely this. In Feb, I took over after my boss retired. I knew the day was coming for a good few years. It was a natural succession. Anyway, I had to train 5 new employees out of the 8 of us over 2 years. I made it a goal to get to know them, know their wives and kids' names, their interests, all kinds of stuff. Every single morning, I host a meeting with everyone and always bring up if anyone has anything to say or get off their chests. And because we're all so tight-knit, there's always stories, struggles going on, exciting news, and just general conversation before I let them go. I work directly for the press CEO, and we always get compliments from him about how well trained my people are, how well we all jive together and help each other out when we need it. It's amazing what can come out of you investing just a little time into people. They become your friends, people you can trust. Story 7. Worked at a call center for a credit card company. If you ever get hit with a late fee, politely call customer service and ask if there's a possibility of getting it waived. We didn't have to ask a supervisor or anything, just pushed it through. Have done this multiple times now for my own cards. Don't pay late fees. Editing to add, if you do call customer service and they help you out, please stay on the line and fill out the serve and give them all perfect scores. We got big bonuses on our scores, and it really meant a lot when people took the time to do it. If you want to complain, do it in the comments box, not on the actual scores. One bad score can tank the bonuses even if it was a bad rating on the product and not the service provided by the agent. Answer, yes and no. I also work in a call center for a major credit card company bank. If we don't have the ability to waive the late fee, then we can't. Though to your point, I would try as hard as I can if you are polite, and I'm sure other companies have different methods. But in general, being polite is always going to work out better. Eat it. Absolutely, to your point about surveys, they can make or break everything. To add to that, if the service is truly bad, give the lowest survey score seriously bad service, as in they should not work there and made your day worse with their service. But if they are even a little helpful, then give the highest score possible. An 8-10 may be a good score for a movie review, but that may as well be a 0 on the survey, at least at my job. 10-10 or 55 or extremely satisfied with constructive feedback in the comment is the way to go. Story 8. Managers. Give your employees the credit they deserve for everything they do, especially talk them up to your bosses. This is a literal win-win. Your employees love you for respecting them, and your boss loves you for successfully managing a great team. Too many times I see bad managers bring their own egos into the mix, feeling like they need to compete with their own employees to take credit for jobs well done. This does not have the effect they think it has. Story 9. If you have something nice to say to someone, like you think they did something neat or have a cool shirt or made a good moral choice, it's generally good to say so and not wait for a better time to tell them. You may not remember or bother later, but most people really benefit from encouragement or appreciation when it's genuine. If you have some criticism or something rather mean to say, try to wait a bit. You may find you don't need to say it, or you may find a way to express it that will be more useful and digestible to the person rather than just pissing them off. Obviously, they aren't always possible, but it's a good life hack to be kind and encouraging on the spur of the moment and to be circumspect and thoughtful about criticism. Story 10. When reheating rice in the microwave, put a little bit of water in the bowl so it heats up fluffy again. Story 11. If you want to change the subject in a conversation, discreetly but noticeably drop something, make it look accidental. It will break the train of thought of the other person and allow you to restart the conversation. Old dark psychology trick. Story 12. As a management consultant, 2 of the best pieces of advice I've ever gotten are, never be afraid to be the one to end the call, and don't sell past the close. The first one's obvious. Everyone dislikes that awkward period at the end of a conf call when it's pretty much over, but no one's ready to just say it. If it's really over, don't hesitate to just say awesome. Thanks so much, everyone, and have a great day. The second one's actually way more important if you're in a meeting trying to land a contract and they say, sounds good. Let's do it. Then shut up, shake their hand, say, we'll get you a draft agreement tomorrow, and walk out the door. No small talk, and definitely no following up on that point we were discussing in the middle of the meeting that you seemed interested in. There's no upside. You can't make them more ready. They've already agreed. Best worst case is you bring up some kind of new point that makes them want to step back and talk more about the overall plan before they're ready to sign. Worst case is you bring up something they didn't realize and you scotch the deal before you've left the room, which I've seen happen more than once. Story 13. To learn something, repeat it to yourself 3 times on the day you learn it, 2 more times the next day, once the day after that, and you know it most of the time. Answer. My learning techniques. You need both theory and practice. Read it and memorize it using your above technique. Watch videos, read books, articles, etc. This gives you theory, but it falls out of my head and/or I don't fully internalize the understanding at a deeper level until I put it into practice by either teaching it to someone or using the knowledge in a project or solving an actual problem. You need both. When it's something particularly gnarly, I use Feynman's technique, where you physically take a piece of paper and a pen, write the topic at the top, then explain it to a layman as well as you can from memory by writing it down on the page and fitting it in a single page. Afterwards, make notes of the parts where you stumbled or didn't know it well enough for it to flow easily, and come up with analogies or examples to help you explain the complicated concepts more simply. Then repeat the process until you can output a single page from memory that explains it easily and concisely to a layman. Story 14. Cutting out daily drinks with sugar like sodas or frappuccinos really helps with weight loss if you do nothing else. Answer. Simple advice. Don't drink your calories. NBSP, things like beer or liquid bread. And speaking of bread, a shot of vodka, 1.5 flows 42 by is about 97 calories. A 12 OAOZ beer is about 130 or 150 calories, 200 calories for a pint. A slice of white bread is about 79 calories NBSP. Another fun nutritional fact to think about when you pour up a drink. Every 4 grams of sugar, 1 teaspoon of sugar, 1 can, 12 ounces of Coke, 39 grams of sugar, almost 10 teaspoons of sugar. Story 15. When your alarm goes off in the morning, do not think, only react. If you sit up immediately and start getting out of bed, it becomes a reflex. No more lying in bed for hours trying to wake up. Now I hear my alarm and brain is alert and ready. Story 16. If you have a hobby, relegate 1 day a month, at least, to doing something major tied to it. If you like fishing in the afternoon some days, set aside a whole day to start early, go to that place you wanted to fish at, and set up for the whole day to do what you enjoy. I personally like tanks. I make model kits and play games involving them. So once a month, I make it a point to find a museum that's hosting tanks and go visit it. Bovington is a 2-hour drive, but I never feel like it wasn't worth it, even if I'm just wandering around the stuff I've seen before. Simply find a big thing tied to your hobby and do it. You'll find that hobby far more engaging. Story 17. The more you understand, the less you have to memorize. Understanding is a knowledge compression algorithm. X, Pythagorean theorem, distance formula, formula for a circle. Story 18. Automated phone systems don't understand nonsense. If you need to speak to a person, answer the prompts with things like chicken nuggets or shoelace. It will assume an error in its language system and route you to a person. Story 19. Never commit a crime during the commission of another crime. Example, if you are transporting illicit substances, don't go speeding around in a car with a busted taillight and expired tags. Story 20. Being unnecessarily nice and thoughtful out of the blue pays back huge returns. It feels good doing right by people, but it's hugely helpful in your career to have a great reputation. Competence is rarely enough. If you want to be extremely successful, you have to cultivate relationships. Remember people's birthdays, write them down. Get them small, random gifts occasionally, and not in exchange for a favor. Show kindness to people lower on the ladder. You may report to them later. Life isn't Game of Thrones. Being a jerk usually, though not always, catches up to you. The opposite is also true, pleasantly enough. Story 21. The infinite yogurt glitch. All you need to make more yogurt is milk and a little yogurt. Repeat as necessary. Story 22. When someone's wrong on the internet, type out what you want to say, then delete it once you've got it out of your system. It's incredibly cathartic. As you organize your sources and logic, you get the time to sort out what you think and why, and you can calm down a bit as you let reason take the wheel instead of your emotions, which lets you realize that nothing you say matters to them anyway. If you find that your finished product is particularly well written, feel free to save it off to the side as a sort of personal study if you want. Excellent Zen hack. Story 23. When stressed, take a walk around the block. Take deep breaths while doing so. This should help one bring down the emotions enough to think rationally. At least once per month, go out to a park or nature preserve, or anywhere where noise pollution is reduced and sunlight is high. It does wonders for mental health. When job hunting, one does not need to fulfill all of the requirements listed. Most job applications are wish lists of what an employer wants. Having 60-70 of the skills necessary is often enough. Front load as much as possible. This applies to chores, work, cooking, finances, etc. If you have time, energy, money to spare, get as much done as possible so when crunch time comes around, there is less to do. Tally up your average expenses and subtract from your income. Then divide the remainder by the number of days in a month. This will give you an easy-to-remember daily allowance to do whatever you want with. Story 24. For me, it was maintain a healthy weight, which most people think is to help your overall health. And yes, that's very true, but from a pain standpoint, it's really great. Like several of you, I'm sure, I'm just in pain all the time. Maybe it's my back or my neck or my knees, but god darn if getting from the beginning of the day to the end of the day doesn't hurt. Turns out, losing weight and keeping that under control, which means adding in the gym a few times a week and watching what I eat for 4 or 5 days a week, makes all that pain go away. And in hindsight, I knew this, but to actually feel it was a world of difference. Someone once told me, you suffer alone, and it's true. You also feel good alone, so better to have the latter of the two options. Story 25. Don't wait until the person is dead to tell them how you feel, whether it's good, bad, or indifferent. Once they are gone, it's too late, a huge waste of time obsessing over someone who is no longer here. Story 26. One that I used to know years ago. When I would come home from college, I worked for a home appliance rental company in delivery and install. Sometimes we would deliver coin card operated laundry units to apartments. One time we did a full replacement of about 12 coin operated washers and dryers to new Maytags that used a card system. The senior guy who drove our delivery truck and told me what to do showed me how to reset the units and make them automatically go into run mode and how to force off the system just by pushing buttons. No key card needed, nothing to unlock or disassemble. He was surprised by how many questions I asked, and he was pleased that I was showing interest in the work and said as much. Well, yeah, I said, these are the same exact units we have at college. I'm never paying for laundry again. He looked at me for a solid 10 seconds, rubbed his eyes and said, I'm going to pretend I didn't just hear that. Whenever I asked questions from then on, he always asked why I wanted to know. Didn't pay for laundry anymore at school though, LOL. Answer. In a similar vein, I was able to order the key for the washing machines in my apartment building from my first apartment. And this was before they were available on Amazon. I had to track down what appeared to be a quasi-legal replacement part distributor and mail them an order form. But I never paid to use the washing machine or dryer the whole time I lived there. Story 27. If you have to cancel a hotel reservation and you're too close to the reservation date and will incur a fine or not get a refund at all, sometimes you can move the reservation into the future far enough to cancel without penalty. Story 28. Saying hello in an unexpected way knocks the person you're talking to out of their groove and changes how they interact with you. Instead of "how's it going," I say "how's life treating you?" and get a more engaged interaction. Story 29. Very hot water temporarily takes away the itchiness of bug bites and poison oak sumac. Just listening to people is almost as good as being able to read minds. Most people will cheerfully reveal exactly what they're thinking if you just listen quietly. It could be through what they say, what they don't say, or their body language. Your own ego causes 99% of the trouble you face. Story 30. Caring about other people's opinions of you, including how you look, what you don't do, what you drive, where you live, etc., grants them power over you that very, very few, if any, are worthy of. Story 31. Wow. It's easier said than done, but life is literally so much easier now that I am 100 pounds less than I used to be. I am way more rested, probably had mild sleep apnea before. Literally sprint upstairs now. Barely sweat anymore, spend less on food, and now that my body's adjusted, I'm no more hungry than before. Clothes actually fit, and I'm excited to try new stuff on. Everyone treats you better, from coworkers, to your boss, to random people you see. Women are much more engaged when talking to me, and I've even been cold approached a few times now. I used to basically be invisible to society, so it is such a dramatic change from where I was 2 years ago. Story 32. If you want to know something but can't find the answer, ask about it online. Then use a second account to give an offensively wrong answer in an arrogant tone. People don't care about helping you, but they love correcting others. Story 33. Drink water. Stretch. Your lower back is sore because your hip muscles are tight. Edit. Thanks for all the comments. I snowboard for a living and my body goes through a lot of abuse, but the same things apply to a less active lifestyle. Adding glutes to the stretching thing for back pain too, because they sort of come as a pair with your hips in the sense of what muscles pull on your lower back. Do dynamic stretches before exercise. Avoid holding a position for more than a few seconds. Stretching too much before causes pulled muscles to happen easier. After exercise, after your muscles have cooled down, that's when you do the long static stretches where you hold for a while. The idea is to stretch the muscles around the group that has the pain because everything is connected. For my lower back, I like to start with my hip flexors and glutes, then quad chamois, then calves at band, then ankles feet. After all that is loosened up, I then stretch out my back. Start mellow if you aren't very flexible. It's easy to overstretch your hamstrings and hips. Story 34. A fluorescent jacket, a bogus lanyard, and a clipboard will get you access to 23 of the places that usually aren't accessible. Story 35. Go to events by yourself. You can get really good seats for pretty cheap a lot of the time because people will have one extra ticket they're just trying to get rid of. Story 36. You can make more friends in 2 months by becoming interested in other people than you can in 2 years by trying to get other people interested in you. Story 37. Swallow your pride. Most people can't. It'll take the wind right out of their sails in almost every argument or aggressive situation. You know you're in the right. Who the fudge cares what they think? I think of it as, if life were a game of rock, paper, scissors, it's like knowing in advance that the other person is always going to throw paper. Story 38. Some jobs requiring unusual technical skills get few or no applicants. If you're interested in the bomb, apply. Even if you don't have the exact skills, they might hire you anyway if you appear sincere and someone who can learn. I've changed careers 3 times by doing this. The downside is that, OMG, they hired me. What was I thinking? Now I actually need to do this thing. Story 39. To save time, I sometimes pretend that I'm the dumb one that may have made the mistake to avoid the whole "it wasn't my fault" conversation. It allows me to take blame and move on to the solution when the solution is all I care about. I don't care who's at fault, I just need it fixed. Answer: I do this with my colleagues all the time. They'll say I might have done it, and I don't remember, even when I'm 99% sure it wasn't me. If I know who did do it, and they haven't owned up, I'll put an optional session in for people to review that particular process, etc. Sometimes the whole team will show up because we really are rusty on that thing. But most of the time, and only the real culprit shows up, and I get the chance to correct them while acting like I am learning myself, following the guides that I wrote. Of course, if they own up, I'll just review it with them and tell the team they're welcome to join. Story 40. If a holiday falls on a Thursday, take the Monday off after, not Friday. Can't say this is true for all businesses, but most customers' patients will have off that Friday and it won't be busy. Then Monday comes and everyone's panicking and all the phone lines are lit up. Plus, I'd rather have 2 short weeks instead of a 4-day weekend. Story 41. No or no thank you are complete statements and necessary as a first step to preventing others from overstepping. It's always going to be a little tricky, but it's the cheat code for asserting yourself and preventing others from taking too much or asking things you can't and shouldn't submit to. When you don't say it despite knowing you should have, that's the cheat code for depression, learned helplessness, and being taken advantage, victimized by those who will have picked up on this, like sharks smelling blood in the water from a mile away. Not learning how to say is its own cheat code for a very cheated, miserable, precarious, battered life. It is always better to be rejected by someone who can't or won't tolerate no from you than for you to have ever exceeded even 1 inch where your needs, integrity, or safety are implicated. Story 42. Just try to be kind to everyone I meet. I go out of my way to be pleasant and polite, and it pays dividends. I can't always successfully do it, but at least I try. Story 43. The Ben Franklin effect. If someone dislikes you, ask them for a favor and be appreciative of them if they oblige. Want work if there is a strong reason for their hating you, like you drove tipsy and eliminate their kid. But if they are your run-of-the-mill haters, then it works like a charm. Story 44. Always tell the truth. You can get real far in life when people trust you. Plus, it's so much easier than remembering lies because you only have to remember what actually happened. Story 45. A lot of sites use the same discount codes. Welcome 10 off birthday. People have made lists of common ones, but I usually just try a couple when I'm checking out, and every now and then I hit on one. Story 46. If at all possible, give yourself a day between arriving home from your travels and going back to work. I use that day to unpack, do all the laundry, go through the mail, etc. I leave the house cleanish before I leave. This buffer is also helpful if you end up delayed, etc. I usually go through my work emails solely to delete the spam, so I feel as ready to go for work as I can. Story 47. If you are broke, you can look up if a hospital is nonprofit. If they are, and you do not make more than the poverty line in wages, the hospital is legally obligated to forgive your debt. Get yourselves treated. Don't think you can't afford to be taken care of because of bad life situations or because you are poor. Story 48. You only get one life and one body, so take care of it. Do what feels good. Have that extra slice of cake. Drink the good beer. But going for a run before makes that cake taste 5 balls more delicious in the beer. Story 49. I had knee pain that made hiking hurt, and my knees would wobble all the time upon descent. Hiking fixed both issues. Don't underestimate your body's ability to be absolutely amazing. Story 50. Treat customer service people like people. Simple, I know, but I go out of my way to use their actual names when talking to them. When I worked in customer service, people who used my name and thanked me, dressing me as a person instead of a means to an end that they desired, would receive literally all the help I could give them. Story 51. There's an app that lets you get free books on your Kindle through your local library. I forget the name of it right this second. Story 52. You will get treated differently if you're dressed better. I'm not even talking about dressing expensively. If you're wearing a suit and tie, you will get better customer service. You will get treated differently by employees. And people will generally not question your presence in a lot of places you'd normally catch scrutiny for. Story 53. I remember when I started working at a call center, I had this girl training me who was so mean. She'd yell at me on the phone when I was talking to a client telling me everything I was doing wrong. Just a nasty person. When my boss asked me how the training was going, I praised her. The next day she thanked me and was nice to me after that low. Story 54. 1. Leave the place person better than you found it. 2. Everyone is going through some sort of crap battle. Be nice to them. 3. FFS, don't buy knife block sets. Just get a decent 100 chef knife and suddenly you're going to start loving cooking. 4. You're simpler than you think you are. If you want to get into decent, healthy routines, Pavlovian dog yourself. Reward yourself when you do something nice. 5. If you're in deep hole in your life, be grateful for every small thing that day and every small accomplishment. 6. If you want an easy way to do 10,000 steps per day, get yourself a medium-sized dog. 7. Detachment is a super skill. Put things down on paper to create more headspace. 8. Buy the best quality gear clothing you can. 1 pair of good boots that last 5 years is better than 4 pairs of shoot ones you don't really like. 9. Brush your teeth while taking the shower. 10. For a good eye contact, just pick one of the eyes to look at it. 11. You'll have to be first. You start a conversation. Don't expect the other person to do it. They won't. 12. Ask her out. The girl, the dude, the job opportunity, the hobby you had on your mind for the past 18 months. Credit, Theo Vaughn. Story 55. On Amazon Prime, you can cancel your membership and only pay for the days you use. For example, I have had Prime Video since the 13th of June, set for renewal on the 13th of July. However, I can cancel my membership now and receive 3.83 back. If there is a film on Prime Video that I really want to watch, I do this, as then it costs a lot cheaper than renting it. Answer: I'm not certain, but I think this is only in the UK due to consumer protection laws. In the US, I'm 99.9. Sure, if I signed up for Amazon today and canceled it tomorrow, I wouldn't get any money back, but my subscription would be good for the rest of the month. Unless Amazon does it differently, but that's how it's worked for me for every other subscription thing I've ever signed up for. Story 56. That fact that more people don't have high-yield savings accounts is baffling to me. Most don't have balance minimums or monthly deposit requirements. Even if you only put 100 in to start off, you'll still make way more passive money than if it were just sitting in a regular checking account. Story 57. If it's bleeding, put antibiotic ointment on it. If it's not bleeding, but it's red and/or itchy, put hydrocortisone cream on it. Most of the time, it'll get better. Source: Mom was a nurse. Story 58. When shopping at small businesses with only one location, ask if there is a cash discount. If they say yes, they'll charge you the price, no tax and added credit fee. Story 59. Holding a grudge will never benefit you and has been proven to actively make your life shorter, harder, and less enjoyable. Story 60. Seems like more tips than cheat codes. Actual cheat code. When visiting supermarkets or gas stations and you don't have a rewards account, just enter the area code that you're in and enter 867-5309 as the phone number, and you will 100 of the time hit on an account that has rewards. Story 61. When you unplug a curling flat iron, say out loud, "I unplugged the curling iron." Saying it out loud will help keep you from doubting having done it when you leave the house. Story 62. Set your mortgage payments to pay half every 2 weeks. You save on interest, and for the 2 months of the year where you get 3 paychecks, you'll be putting extra money toward the principal. Will save you in the long run and help pay off your home sooner. Story 63. Be nice, polite, and know who you are talking to. Let's say your boss says some really wrong or bad thing. Example: I think I should be president so I could print out more money and become so rich. So you know that wouldn't work, right? Don't try to explain it to them. Just say some BS like, haha, right. This will stop a future argument that might lead into you being bad in the eye of your boss. Or let's say your boss says, "I think the world is flat because if it were round, we would fall." Don't try to make them understand the situation. Just stay neutral and say something like, "Good point." Being polite will usually open you many more doors. Story 64. If someone offers you something, accept it even if you don't want it. It gives a sense of trust, and people will subconsciously like you more. Story 65. You can beat or reduce speeding tickets by realizing one simple thing. Police officers don't want to die. If you keep that in mind in every action, from when you see the blue lights until you get the ticket or the warning, you will see a significant decrease in your fines. Pull over as far as you can to give them room. Turn on the dome light if it's after dusk. Turn off your car and put both hands on the wheel. Roll down both windows. Sometimes they come from the passenger side. Get them what they want when they ask for it and not before. Hands on the wheel when not getting items requested. Don't be a male body part. Edit. Additional from comments. Roll down all windows, especially if tinted. When opening glove compartment, open it, and before reaching in, give the officer a beat to look inside. Everyone I've taught this technique to has told me how well it's worked for them. Answer. I was in a rural area going 50 miles near Pierdar when I saw blue lights. I was on a long and narrow bridge, and not wanting to make the cop get out there, I put on my hazard lights until the end of the bridge. Turns out the limit through there was 25, but I didn't know, out of state and unfamiliar with the area. It felt like a 40-50 zone to me. The cop thanked me for not stopping on the bridge and let me go with a warning after I told him I didn't want him out there in traffic. Story 66. Just tell the truth. As a medic, all I want to do is help you. I don't care if you took an illicit substance, and I'm not telling the cops. Just tell me what it was that you took so I can make the situation better. Story 67. If downloads are going slow, run a speed test. ISPs see the speed tests and give the connection priority for a bit to hide if they're throttling. Story 68. If you sleep in the same bed as your SO, don't share a blanket. Each person should have their own blanket, whichever one it is that helps them sleep the best. Colder or warmer, comforter versus quilt, etc. You'll sleep so much better. Story 69. Use ChatGPT or something similar to simulate your upcoming interview for a new role. They are getting really good and enormously helpful, especially if you can't afford a one-on-one human coach. Edit, be as detailed as you can. I'm an entry-level software engineer applying for a junior role at Google. I especially need help with my technical interview. Pretend you're interviewing me and ask me questions like Google would. Story 70. I used to be a trauma nurse and also did a lot of ride along with the fire department. And if everybody starts doing this, I'm probably going to screw the country up, but it's my favorite real-life cheat. When you get in an elevator, if you hold down your floor button and the door close button at the same time, it will take you straight to your floor without stopping for everybody else. We would do it with critical patients, or if we needed to get to a person's condominium or office fast in an emergency. They used to work in every single elevator, but I've noticed in the past 2 or 3 years that it probably works in about 80 of the elevators I've been in lately. I try not to abuse it too much, but it is handy when you're in a hurry. Story 71. I actually got this from Reddit, but compliment people on things they can choose rather than things they can't. Telling someone they have nice eyes may be a kind thing to say, but they've probably either heard it their whole life or maybe even they don't like that trait. But the shirt design or pair of shoes they chose that day is likely a whole lot more validating. Fun bonus, I complimented my now wife on her earrings our first date for this very reason. I ended up telling her a while later and to this day won't let me live it down. You probably just saw that on Reddit. Story 72. If you're stuck trying to finish or even start something like studying or working on an assignment, take a piece of paper and write down your thoughts or anything you're worried about. Once you've got them all, put the paper away and you should feel more relaxed to finish what you were doing. Helps a lot of procrastination and anxiety. Story 73. If you need an umbrella, don't buy one. Just walk to the front desk of a hotel restaurant and ask if someone found yours. It's a small black one. Works most of the time. Story 74. Buy stock in firearms in the summer of an election year. Summer is always tight on the gun industry, so stock prices plummet. Come election years, they reverse and everyone gets worried and buys gun samo. Since elections are in November, it's also close to Christmas. If a Repub wins, sell. If a Dem wins, hold till January or so and sell. Story 75. Say thank you instead of I'm sorry in most situations. Thank you for your patience sounds a lot better and more professional than I'm sorry I was late. Story 76. Balance bike, easiest way for a kid to learn to ride a bike. Oldest kid I taught with training wheels and dad running behind, the old school method, came with lots of frustration and of course the minor injuries kids get learning to ride. When kid 2 was old enough, my wife got him a balance bike that one of her mom group friends recommended. Night and day difference. Son scooted around on it for a few months. Wife found a tiny pedal bike at a thrift store and he rode it the first time on. Learning to balance is harder than learning to pedal. Ultimate parent cheat code. Story 77. When dealing with large organizations and not being a jerk and trying to do something reasonable, you will inevitably run into a roadblock because of policy. The way around it is not explaining why the policy is stupid. The other person knows that and has likely had to deal with this before. The magic phrase is, okay, so what is the workaround? There is a high probability someone previously has found a route through the Byzantine bureaucracy, and if you are nice about it, they will explain what the last person did. Story 78. Joining a guild and starting a clan greatly increase your happiness and respect. Stats. Edit. I'm talking about finding a friend group and starting a family. Story 79. Using manners will change how people view you and open many doors. I always say sir and mom to everyone. Story 80. You will get what you give. Conversely, you need to give what you get as well. This means sticking up for yourself when it is necessary. Never tolerate any disrespect, ever. Story 81. Driving aggressively to get somewhere in a faster amount of time almost never works. You'll end up more mad about the people in your way. Not to mention you're manning a passing trap. Just drive normal and you'll find you will still make it to where you need to be in decent time. Story 82. The underwear and socks you swear you're going to throw out, but it got washed and is clean and goes back in the drawer. Bring it all on your next trip and throw it away as you travel. Extra space in your luggage and less laundry. Story 83. Asking for a favor makes you more likable. Use in extreme moderation or it will quickly backfire. In a conversation where everyone is standing, the direction feet are pointing can be a pretty good indicator of relationship. Story 84. Using the rules found in the book, How to Win Friends and Influence People, Dale Carnegie, is a game changer. It is the handbook on human relations. If you follow the rules, you will find you will be much better off. Story 85. Compliment strangers. I'm always telling people I love their blouse, I love their glasses, I love their shoes, etc. When I interact with someone doing their job well, I make a point to tell them. I love complimenting people. I have found it not only seems to make a person's day, it lifts my own mood when I do it. Story 86. When to lie and how to do it effectively. Read your employee handbook, people. HR is your enemy. Knowing when to blatantly lie will save your job. Admit to nothing, make them prove anything. Story 87. Take notes. Honestly, you think you're listening and got it, but you didn't. You thank yourself later. This applied to work and study. I wish I'd understood this earlier. I probably would have made it further. Story 88. I have a horrible memory. If there's something I might forget to do, I close my eyes and imagine another mundane activity I definitely will be doing around the same time. I imagine the steps in detail, then associate the other thing I need to do with it. When I do that mundane activity, it triggers the memory of the other thing I need to do. Has not failed yet, at least that I can remember. Story 89. I have 2 shower-related ones for you. 1. Have your towel accessible to your shower so that you can dry yourself before you open the shower door. Drying yourself in the residual heat reduces time spent in the cold. 2. Before you use this towel, do a once-over with your hands on every square inch of your body to remove as much water as you can. No. Only will this make drying with the towel easier, it also reduces the mildew on your towel and means it dries much quicker. Story 90. If you have a SO who snores, Pavlov yourself into making it your own personal sleep cue. Match your breath to their breath while body scanning and relaxing your limbs, focusing on the weight of your resting body being held by your mattress. Do this for a couple of weeks and eventually, as soon as they start sawing logs, your brain tells your body it's time for you to snooze too. Story 91. Call companies to cancel yearly subscriptions every year, like internet, phone plan. You will be transferred to retention, who can offer you a discount for your next year. Never pay full price for that shoot. Story 92. This only works on older gas pumps, but if you squeeze the trigger and repeatedly press the grade, select button, you will see that gas will steadily flow at a slow rate and the counter will stay at 0 until you stop pressing the button. This is due to a software issue that primes the pump when the button is pushed. In the right place and time, you can fill your tank for $1. It just takes a while. Try it. It may take time to find a station that it works at, but once you find it, you got it made. I know a handful of stations in the San Francisco Bay Area that this trick works well, e.g. the station on the corner of Llewellyn and East 14th in San Leandro. You are welcome. Story 93. Our bodies are mostly levers designed to work well in a single plane. If you oppose a limb on a different plane, you can easily overpower it. A decade of wrestling taught me all the ways to bend people without effort, no matter how large or strong they might be. Leverage is a hell of a thing. Story 94. The mute button on gas station pumps playing those god-awful fudge ads at ear-piercing volume. It's second down from top right. Story 95. To calm yourself, inhale for a count of 3, exhale for a count of 6. Repeat as needed. To energize yourself, inhale for a count of 6, exhale for a count of 3. Story 96. When going grocery shopping, park close to the car corral so you don't have to walk so far to return it. And especially if you have a toddler who you can put in their seat and still be close by as you return the cart. Story 97. To say the alphabet backwards, you only have to think like this. You know the last 3 letters, ZYX initials of the worst 2 states for memorization purposes. WVUT. That's our Q to P on Martin Luther King. SRQPONMLK. You've made it halfway through the alphabet. Now dance a misspelled victory jig for the cop or Fed making you do this. JIHG Fed. Now do the first 3 letters. CBA. Story 98. I bought a few rolls of raffle tickets online. If there's a festival or carnival, I check what color the tickets are, and I arrive and live like a king. Answer, I thought about doing this at a fundraiser I was at. They just had the Staples tickets where you buy them and put them in a bag of something you hope to win. I thought, hell, why didn't I just buy a roll myself and put like 100 of them into every bag? But I realized it was a fundraiser for my son's Boy Scouts, and I'd only be cheating him and his friends out of shoot if I did that. Story 99. Most people know that hardware stores, lowest HD, have cleaner bathrooms than most places. But if you are really hard-pressed to find a clean toilet, you can just walk into a hotel lobby and use their bathroom. Literally never had anyone stop me. And if you look remotely like you're not about to move into their bathroom, they won't care. Large grocery stores, Publix, Kroger, are my third choice. And not only do all of these places usually offer paper jerk gaskets, you can also phone into the store if you sit down and don't have toilet paper. Story 100. Do everything in your power to stay out of debt. Do not borrow money. If you can't afford it, don't buy it. This lowers stress and anxiety. IMO cars are hugely overvalued. They sit around the majority of their lives. A depreciating asset. Buy cars cash. If it's cheap, drive it until you can save up for an upgrade. Story 101. If you're having a hard time getting out of bed or starting something, do a mental countdown in your head from 10 and get started when the countdown is finished. I'm a pro at procrastination, but when I do the countdown, it helps immensely. IDKY. The trick is to have the firm rule in your head that you have get up at liftoff no matter what. I like to do the rocket launching sequence in my head. Story 102. Treat every stranger with respect and be polite until they don't deserve it, in which case move on without lowering yourself in the process. Also, never be afraid to ask for a discount or promotion or date ECT. Worst thing they can say is no, and you'd be shocked how many times they say yes. Do not be afraid to ask for what you want. Story 103. Flash your high beams at red lights in empty intersections during nighttime. A lot of them sense a car waiting to pass by, looking for lights, so you can get them to change way before you pull into the intersection. Story 104. If someone is upset with you, before letting your emotions take over, try to put yourself in their shoes. 910 empathy helps de-escalate the situation better than matching energy ever could. Story 105. When you read something on the internet that immediately makes you feel outraged and angry, take a minute to ask yourself, is this particular issue an actual priority in my life? Is this where I want to focus my energy today? If I do, what are the odds that it will make a real difference? Most of the time, the shoot getting you outraged just does not matter. And even when it does, most of the time, you can't do a darn thing about it. Yes, Celebrity X is a jerk who did horrible things. Yes, something bad is happening in distant country X. But, you have only one life to live, and you are living it right now. Is, I don't know, being mad at P. Diddy really what you want to waste your precious willpower on? Once you realize that you are not obligated to be outraged, you will discover a huge well of equanimity and focus. Story 106. A 18 drill bit is a T20 driver. It might not drive the screw in, but will take it out in a pinch. Collated finish nails will cut flashing tape better than a knife. Rub Nicorette gum in sawdust or fine dirt, and you can use it as a tire plug. Story 107. Tell the new employees, colleagues when they're doing well. It can be very easy to feel like you don't fit in or are not doing well because you don't know the ropes yet. Story 108. If you tell, even repeat a couple times to yourself that you need to wake up at alarm immediately just before going to sleep, you're way more likely to, even if you're dead tired or didn't get enough sleep. It's the first thing you remember in the morning. It's like a mental alarm clock. Story 109. If you sit down on the bed before you take your slippers off, your slippers will be pointed in the correct direction when you get out of bed later. Story 110. Metamucil every day at 20 years old instead of the doctor suggesting it to you at your 50-year checkup. Story 111. You can grow lettuce from just the bit at the base, place it in a bowl of water, and sit it in a sunny spot, replacing the water every couple of days. Once roots grow, you can plant it in soil. This works especially well for lettuce with hearts and can also be done with other vegetables. Ginger can be regrown if you place it in a flower pot with the buds facing up, cover it with soil, and place the pot somewhere out of direct sun. It should grow in about a week. Story 112. Time how long things actually take, like work walks and alternative routes to common destinations. You'll always know when you'll be late or when you need to actually hurry up. Oh, and be patient, but don't let it be taken advantage of. Story 113. Fasting is the real fountain of youth. YouTube lecture on fasting by Dr. Pradeep Jamnadas. Summary of that lecture posted elsewhere on Reddit. Story 114. When having to ask for something in a circumstance that they are used to saying no, or delivering bad news about fees, i.e. cell phone store, say your piece in a logical manner and then shut up. They're accustomed to responding to back and forth, but if you just stand there without arguing, they start getting uncomfortable. I've done this from time to time and it's pretty much always worked. Story 115. Only buy one brand and style of socks to make sorting and folding socks super fast. I especially like the Target brand Cat and Jack's Kids socks that says the size on the bottom. I like the black ankle Puma socks for myself and bought 3 6-packs on Amazon when I was low on other socks. I no longer have to mess with the missing sock drawer every time I fold laundry. Story 116. if you're doing something you're not supposed to do either. Act completely oblivious and unaware, or totally confident and convicted. The in-between is where you get caught. Don't drink adult beverage. If you have to ask, the answer is yes. When driving a rental, near your odometers is an arrow that tells you which side the case is on. The longest line is always the line closest to where people enter the area. The longest food drink line at a concert or game will be the vendors near the entrance. The longest line at a stadium will be the one closest to the parking lot. A person can be crazy, but the fun kind of crazy. But fun crazy is still crazy, and that crazy will eventually come your way. If you're doing psychedelics at a concert, always take a shoot before. Even if you don't have to shoot, force out whatever you can. Story 117. It's not nearly as exciting or useful as some others here, but I discovered that on some vending machines, IDK exact models, you could put in a 5 bill, and as long as you didn't spend the whole 5 hitting the return button, would give you 5 and quarters. So you could get 4.75 or so of free snacks at the cost of now having to carry around a sack of quarters. Story 118. So you're ready to cut your monthly trash bill down to 0. Call up your trash company, tell them someone stole your trash cans, even though no one did. You know, like a liar. Shoot, man, bummer. No worries, though, we'll deliver some new ones. Next day, they give you some new trash cans. Now you have 2 trash cans. Wait a couple weeks and call them back. Hey, man, I'm canceling my trash service because I'm moving. Come get your trash cans. Cool, safe travels. We'll get them tomorrow. They then come and get your new trash can and stop charging you. Continue to use your old trash can because the garbage truck driver doesn't actually check to see who should and shouldn't have cons. They just do their route and pick them all up on their road. Story 119. Build a decompression day or 2 into the back end of your vacation. Gives it time to get sorted and settled back into your routine and dread the trip back home a little less because you've got a mini staycation to look forward to. Story 120. If you want to defend your position, take the Arnold Vinnick approach. Stand and answer questions. Don't have an end time. Keep answering questions till the ones asking questions drop out. For this to truly work, 2 things have to be true. 1, you truly believe in your position. 2, you know what you're talking about. Story 121. Worked at Progressive, the insurance company. If you get a late fee, you have to specifically request an accommodation. Like, say the word accommodation. Shady fuckers. Story 122. Your attitude affects everything. The better your attitude is, then better things will happen to you. Story 123. If you keep your mouth shut and do what you're told, it will take them longer to figure out they hired someone who is in way over their head. Story 124. Anxiety cheat codes. 1. If you're having a lot of anxiety about an event coming up, make a soft landing for yourself. Plan exactly what you'll do right when you finish, like rolling down the windows in your car and listening to a podcast, calling a trusted friend or family member, laying down in a comfy bed, or even just leaving the room and walking outside. Then during the difficult event, imagine your soft landing and think about how it's right there waiting for you on the other side. It helps you believe that you'll get it through it. This has really helped me through some pretty extreme anxiety. 2. When you're going through something really difficult, make the other things easier that you can control. For example, when I was pregnant, I didn't listen to the news at all or watch any disturbing media. I also said no to day trips and anything else I didn't want to do. It worked really well, and I knew it was just temporary, so I didn't feel like I was putting on permanent blinders. 3. For panic attacks, a wet paper towel on the face, ears, and back of the neck activates your parasympathetic nervous system and helps you feel less faint. 4. If you are someone who faints around blood, needles, or anything else that freaks you out, there are exercises you can do to quickly raise your blood pressure if it drops suddenly. Look up Prevent Vasovagal Syncope on YouTube. 5. If you need more panic attack anxiety advice, I'm here to help. Story 125. Live in the moment. Stay off phone. I promise you will enjoy whatever you're doing more. My dad likes to travel, and he was in another country, either Europe or Canada, can't remember, but there were times when his phone died. He said every time his phone died, he had a blast. So he always told me, try to stay off your phone when traveling and enjoy the moment. I went to Art Basel, Miami 2018. Walking around and my phone died. I was solo. I was miles away from my hotel. and walking couldn't call an Uber. I remembered what he said and said, okay, just keep hanging out and enjoy. Not even 10-minute middle-aged white lady, I'm a black guy, came to me, asked if I was waiting for an Uber she couldn't find one. I said, no, my phone died. She asked, you want to share one? I said, sure. So we waited and found an Uber. She told me all about herself. She was a gallery owner in Georgia. I'm an artist myself. She got me into different events and venues for free. We exchanged info. Yeah, I try to live in the moment more nowadays. Story 126. Increase your chances on conflict resolution. When on the phone trying to resolve an issue with support, EMR, no matter what it is, a booking gone wrong, an unexpected charge on your credit card, an item ordered that hasn't arrived or is damaged, etc. Act like a decent human being. Yes, you may be annoyed or upset, but the poor boy or girl on the other side of that line did not do this to you. Yelling and shouting at them down the phone does not fix the issue or make you more likely to receive a positive outcome. Speak calmly, explain that you know it's not their fault, but you are unhappy with the situation, and ask them what they can do to help you resolve it. You will find that they will be more likely to help you fix the issue and often go the extra mile. Story 127. Older gentlemen should get regular pedicures. Having trouble reaching your toes to cut your nails. With a pedicure, you get a foot massage and to talk to young ladies for a few minutes in addition to a nail trim. It's not required to get your nails painted if you don't want them to, or go for it. Not gonna judge. Story 128. Learn the basics of different con games. When you learn these, you will recognize them everywhere and how extremely effective they are. This allows you to defend yourself as well as amp up your business game a bit. Simple things like start with very simple facts, giving easier explanations while verifying how smart they are by keeping up. Complicate it slightly, but still compliment them on keeping up. Ask them if they are keeping up, but do not give them time to actually think about it. Speed up the temp, complicating it more and more. They want to understand so they can be rewarded with the compliment even though you lost them. They want that compliment of how smart they are and nod when compliment them on how much they seem to already understand, even though you are completely making everything up already. In the end, they'll want to believe everything you told them because they are smart and know you understand that, but subconsciously understand that disagreeing or admitting they did not understand would remove all the rewards they receive for keeping up. Their ego will con them into believing whatever BS you hand them because they are so much smarter than the average person. Study this for a bit, then watch the evening news. You will never unsee it again. Answer: this is good advice. It reminds me of a time when I was with my brother in a Vegas casino and a con artist approached us and tried to talk us into some ridiculous scheme. I knew within the first 15 seconds this was a con, but I was curious to know how it worked, so I kept playing dumb and asking him for more details about the simple parts. By the way, do not do this. Just walk away. My baiting him led to him threatening to eliminate us and us having to go to the police. But do learn to recognize cons. Story 129. Counting calories is how you control your weight. There's no what if it doesn't work bullshit. It's factual and it works 100 of the time, whether you eat healthy or eat junk food. Everything else is just bullshit to get your money, or a really complicated way to say that, yeah, you need to create a calorie deficit to lose weight. There's no other answer to weight loss. Story 130. Eliminate people with kindness. No means no, but you don't want people to say no because of the way you asked. Be patient if they are doing something at that moment and wait for them to finish up whatever they are doing. Don't be tapping your foot or your finger to your watch as you wait, and don't try to hurry them up. While you are waiting for them to finish whatever, you can practice asking in your head so you know what you are going to say, and so that you don't leave something out when you ask, make sure you are asking and not demanding or begging. Always say please and thank you. Story 131. If you have too much cardboard for your recycling bin, soak it with a hose. I mean, really drench it, or leave it out overnight in the rain. It then folds up super easy and takes up much less space in the bin. Story 132. For men, pressing on your taint closer to the balls after peeing to release the last drops. I didn't know about this until like a year or two ago, and it changed my life. No more vigorously shaking. Story 133. If you can't find a solution to a problem online, ask the question in a relevant subreddit, then sign into a different account and give a wrong answer. You're more likely to get the answer from someone correcting you than just answering out of the goodness of their heart. Story 134. Be on time, communicate well, and do what you say you're going to do. Congrats! You have now done 90 of what you need to do to be considered good at any job that exists. Story 135. To suppress your gag reflex, hold your left thumb inside of your left palm. Have your other fingers wrapped around your thumb if you're going to throw up. Drink some milk beforehand to reduce the burn. If you're having stomach issues, taking a handful of chia seeds can help out. If you're facing temporary financial changes, letting certain companies know can help reduce with your payments. Story 136. When in doubt, use coconut oil. It's the most useful thing. I use it for cooking, as a makeup remover, for my skin in general, for my hair, to take off my kids' temporary tattoos. The list goes on. Story 137. Don't be an idiot. Whenever you're about to do something, think, would an idiot do that? And if they would, you do not do that thing. Story 138. If you get pulled over for a traffic violation, the following can help you avoid the most severe penalties and/or points on license and/or fines, etc. First of all, be pleasant and respectful. Anything you say or do to make the officer's life more difficult only hurts you in the end. Speak to the officer by his name or sir, ma'am. Hell, thank them when they tell you you are free to go. Second, do not admit to any wrongdoing. If they say why they pulled you over, it is okay to say, if I did, then I didn't realize it, am sorry, etc. But do not state outright what you did if you know, and if they tell you, do not agree that you did it. Third, when it comes time to respond to the citation, plead not guilty. This will get you assigned a hearing date. If you actually did nothing wrong and know it, be prepared to plead your case and fight the charge with supporting evidence. If you know you were in the wrong, or am I wrong? The next part is important. Arrive at the hearing 15 minutes early. If you're lucky, the officer fails to show, and in all probability, the ticket is then immediately dismissed. If not, proceed on. Speak to the officer by name again. Introduce yourself and remind them of what the citation was for. Explain that while you are not debating that you were in the wrong, you would really prefer to avoid insert consequence here. Huge fine, points on license, increase in insurance, etc. Particularly useful if your job depends on a clean driving record. Ask if there is a lesser charge you could plead to that would reduce or eliminate the most problematic penalties. Often the officer will offer you a non-traffic or lesser than traffic violation, which comes with reduced fines, no points on license, etc. If you agree to this, the officer goes and talks to the judge magistrate. They rewrite the charges, you sign, and everyone goes on their merry way. I have used this multiple times. Most notably, I got out of a charge for 85 mph in a 55 zone with suspended registration, with merely a fine of $610 for parking in a handicapped spot. No points on license, no mandatory license suspension, no increase in insurance premiums, no moving violation added to my driving record. The state still got their money. Everyone was happy. Story 139. Rinse your mouth with hot water after brushing your teeth, and whatever you eat and drink afterwards will not taste bad. Story 140. If you're married or have a trusted partner, register your vehicle in their name and their vehicle in your name exclusively. The DMV will only have record for the one driver owner. If you get caught by a red light camera or speeding camera, the ticket will go to the owner, if one is sent at all. Have them reply that it wasn't them with a copy of their license. They are under no obligation to share any more information. The ticket gets thrown out. No one is charged or fined. Story 141. I figured out how to trick my wife into intimacy. I give her compliments all the time, they're true, and try to do things to make her life easier or better. I've been married for 15 years, and I just figured this out. Better late than never, I guess. Story 142. Being gay is a get-out-of-free-jail card for parents asking when you're going to have kids. My dad asked if he'd like to cover insane amount of adoption or surrogacy fees. Never asked again. Story 143. If you can survive any form of suffering that others can't, you'll succeed. Learn to suffer in healthy ways. Some might call it sacrifice. People are more entitled now than ever. They demand being comfortable and confidence. If you can bypass this mentality, you can put yourself 10 years ahead of your peers. You'll know what you want, and you'll live with conviction in accordance with your goals and suffering. Learn to love the lows because they will make the highs higher. If you can master duality, you will live a life of sublime clarity. Story 144. If you stick out your tongue and mime shaking salt onto it from a salt shaker, you'll actually taste salt. Give it a try. Story 145. You'd be MZ'd how much you can get away with by telling people you have a license to thrill. Edit. It works best when you don't abuse it and make sure people are having fun. Story 146. Don't make enemies with coworkers when at all possible, because someday some of those coworkers will inevitably be in a position of influence to either help you or hurt you. Story 147. Be on time. That includes being where you're supposed to be before the time you're supposed to be there. Turn in your work on time, meet deadlines on time, etc. It saves a lot of headaches and extra work, and being reliable is a great trait to have. Story 148. Positive reinforcement goes a long way. Goes a long way. The easiest words to say are good job, and people don't say it enough. Story 149. If you are wondering if someone is understanding what you are saying, ask them to repeat it back to you in their own words. Story 150. Actively listening rather than waiting for your turn to talk makes a world of difference in the way people perceive you. Story 151. Exercise all throughout the day. Do one little exercise, like push-ups, and then go back to work or whatever you're doing. 30 minutes later, do another little exercise, like sit-ups, and then continue with whatever you were doing. Do this the whole day. You won't get tired, it doesn't take much time, and you get a whole lot of extra exercise. I've made a list of exercises that I can do quickly. Among them are running in place, sit-ups and push-ups, of course, the chicken dance, rock climbers, squats, and a few others I invented that don't really have a name and would be too hard to describe here. Even stretching counts. Story 152. If you can, keep moving. Walking, stretching, standing instead of sitting. Move. Your older self will thank you immensely. Story 153. Invest a couple $100s in a set of jack stands or ramps and some basic hand tools, and use YouTube to teach yourself basic car maintenance. At least learn how to do tire changes, rotations, brake jobs, and oil changes if nothing else. The amount of mow you'll save will more than pay for the cost of the tools within the first year, and you'll learn a new skill that could potentially save you thousands. Story 154. Whatever skill you want to master, set aside a bit of time each day to work on it. It doesn't have to be a lot of time, just so long as it's something you do every day. Story 155. This might be an unethical life cheat code, but don't commit two crimes at the same time. Jails are full of people who got busted for things because they got caught for other stupid things. Don't speed while driving without a license. Story 156. Set up passive income as early as you possibly can and invest the profits from that into other streams or opportunities. If I had done that in my 30s instead of 50s, I'd be retired right now. Story 157. I'm a professional project manager. Let me tell you the secret to getting people to do work for you when they don't directly work for you. Thank you cards and emails to their bosses saying what a great job they did for you. You get so much fudge mileage out of thank you cards, it's unreal. Story 158. If you've done a lot of job hopping on your resume, just put contract position next to the jobs that were shorter than a year. Story 159. If you're somewhere that uses a phone number for loyalty point discounts and you know you don't have any points or even an account, use a local area code 867-5309. It doesn't always work, but the hit rate is decent. Story 160. Behavioral interviews are not therapy sessions. When they ask for an example of a time, pick an example that you don't have strong feelings about. It's a trap people often fall into. Story 161. Don't be a male body part, just be a genuine good human. Acknowledge others and the struggles we all jointly face. Some have different struggles, but everyone is dealing with a bunch of stupid, awful, hard things, and it literally can make the world a better place by just being kind. Also, wash your hands and use lotion. Story 162. There are certain elevators that if you hold the door closer button until the door is fully closed and then hit your floor while still holding the button, that will go into express mode and ignore floor calls. Story 163. Enjoying your own company is a superpower. You're never lonely, always up for an adventure, and radiate confidence. Story 164. Being confident, diplomatic, and courteous legitimately gets you stuff and places for free. I've had numerous people give me free shoot and go above and beyond by being even the tiniest bit kind. Story 165. Get your spices in the Hispanic section of the grocery store. It's the exact same thing, except half the price. Story 166. Forgive everyone who wrongs you, but like a dog that bites, don't forget them. Just don't get even. Don't make them know how you feel. Don't say that thing to shut them up. Don't even tell them. If you need to tell them you've forgiven them, you haven't forgiven them. Just erase the debt. And when you feel it stirring again, forgive then again. Doing this has brought me more peace than I can adequately describe. Story 167. Silence is a tool to be used and is especially powerful when used with courtesy. For instance, when you need to get help from customer service, be kind, clear about the situation and what you need, and then be silent. I have an issue. The shipped product on order arrived broken, non-functional. I need to get this replaced. How can you help me get this processed? And then be silent. If they try to give you runaround and not my problem energy, you state back what you need and be silent again. Most people get very uneasy when they are in a conflict situation and the other party is silent. That's it for this video. Don't forget to support Vancher and my second channel, Vancher. See you soon.